Samantha Stella has arrived in Montriana and it's the 8th episode of City Skylines. Welcome back to another work for this time lapse. Today I'm going to do somewhere in the hilltop. And because of that, this is the 13th part that I'm doing with the second attempt. Last time there was something to do with Ausgaben. Lately they gave 75,000 money. During that time we have spent for this scenario. And somewhat we need to cut it into pieces because there are 12 squares. And it's time for zoning. Zoning is 3 times 3 and 3 times 4. If you have any mistakes, you need to consider try not to do anything else and then try to create a commercial areas. For this time, we need more water for this electrocutional. Now we need some more water supply and a water treatment plant. And we need to wait for this area. We need to demolish the some of the abandoned areas, but some buildings doesn't have any critical moments for this reason. After that, we need some industry areas to make something more forestry after demolishing the all the water treatment plants. But there's not enough power. Then remove all unnecessary industry buildings to replace the tree plantations. Also, currently it requires power after building the farm, the forest building. Watch out for these forestry chains. We need to build the 8 of this, or 11. 11 to make more precisely. And because of red, I should have demolished the inland water treatment plants. And for somewhat, we need to follow the forestry areas, the river forest. And you can't build this right now because now we need something that, oh no, you can't place it there because this is Samantha Stella. Now what we need to do is to paint the district. Painting the district which is called Samantha Stella. But then we need to create 4 of these tiles to make an appropriate thing. But then there are 3 times 3 or 4 times 4 or somewhat. 2 buildings must be turned off and unlock the 6th tile because the elementary school is supposed to be in this chain. Pause the game and unlock. And then resume. Now we need something that you should work is the small log yard. There are 3 of these. It cannot be replaceable or must be filled, relocated in that area. And then I understand I need to connect the metro line because I could have been asking for this 9th episode, and currently there are no plans for the 10th episode. So seriously, I just want to make sure it's a roadside. You can't place it on the roadside. Buildings must be placed roadside and relocate the buildings such as a lumber mill. And because of that, we need to elevate one of the following. It should be lower and lower. At the 4-minute mark, you should do the same thing with this tunnel. And the tunnel should work. Below the ground, you can't place a metro truck near the roads. Roads could lead to collision. And somewhat it will eat the following. And the rest of this is not stable. And after this, there's not enough customers. And also, you cannot build this here, and because these buildings could demolish. Unfortunately, it should not be persisting on that area. Persistence is I could not disastrous on the abandoned areas, and the fire On that area, I should demolish somewhat with rezoning, filling this area with the commercial zones and demolish. You can't. Oh, okay, it should be demolished in this area. Should I consider building more water treatment plants and a solar power station? Yes, the second solar power station. It's not been connected yet because there are notifications at risk, and someone you can't wait until somewhere in this country. And for most of the thing, I should uh, zone more residential areas. And after that, there's still not much time for because there's not enough power. There are too many people complaining about this. Now we need to do is to demolish the old bus terminal to give more space after relocating. But some notifications at risk are backing up with the sewage treatment plants. Consider building more water treatment plants and power lines because there are two of these power lines could do the same thing. You should ever consider what is going on. Did you forget something else with it's the power lines? The power lines are districtable within ownable area. We need to wait for the new ones. We need to build another wind turbines. Building should be turned on. After this, we need to adjust the road with some traffic lights and stop signs. Now we need to copy these construction costs for these conjunctional areas. Then once a thing, if you put a conjunctional areas, it should be precisable. Remember the road grid lines coming from each district, and remember this line. Also, part of industries DLC replace all roads from basic to industrial. Industrial roads are located in industry DLC, and upgrade all roads. And for most of the thing, it's not very similar to this following. And repaint the okay. We need to repaint one each another. To repaint one each another, it must be currently out of the following and somewhat. However, um, you could even place more than a lot and somewhat. Okay, stand by. It's gridlock. Don't waste time. These road layouts do not match, and sometimes I could destroy the following. And don't forget the paths on it. In Samantha, Stella, I should have been asking for more prediction that leads to a waste less than the amounts because I don't know around the dirt roads. There are 12 rectangles near and that part. And don't forget some commercial zones. If there's too many cars, you need to build a bus intercity bus hub. It is a very large or huge station contains buses and the intercity buses from another city. Always make sure if there's too many people in this district. Now what we need to do is to add a stop in this station. Override some of this following. Now we need to do is to have a second bus depot on it. And for that time, I must create a fifth line. For example, fifth line is where contagiously precised on that secretional exceptionalists. On that day, I should have been asking for what to do. Which is called not really this Marella. And for that time, I should have asking for. And don't forget to build a sawmill because coming up next, a new highway near this Marella. And don't forget to have a sawmill when there's not enough frequent plants. I'll be back in the next episode.